Hey guys. So today I'm going to be doing my September wrap-up video, and for the month of September my theme was Scandalous September. Now the reason that I chose Scandal for my theme this month is because Banned Books Week took place during the month of September. It actually just took place last week from September 22nd to September 27th. I listed 5 books in my TBR for September and got to 4, but one of those was actually not on my original TBR. It happens. Alright, this is going to be a quick video, so I'm just going to go ahead and get on into the books that I did read. So the first book that I picked up this month was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Now, I have reread Harry Potter many a time. However, I only got about 200 pages in and then decided to put it down and start reading books that I actually had not read before. So after putting Harry Potter down, I picked up Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, and let me tell you, that book, there are no words. Recently, Gone Girl has been showing up a lot on BookTube, but it's actually been on the New York Times best-selling list for about 4 years now. I know with the movie coming out at the end of the week, everyone wants to read it, and I wholeheartedly suggest that you guys check out the book before you watch the movie. Not only because the book is fantastic, but because Gillian Flynn is also the screenwriter for the movie, and she said she has completely changed the ending. Like I said, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about this book, but I will say that Gone Girl follows a married couple, Nick and Amy disappears on their 5th wedding anniversary. The reason I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail is because I'm planning to do a book movie discussion, so let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that. Needless to say, I rated Gone Girl 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book that I picked up in September was The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Now this is a modern classic, and it is known for being quite controversial. I've found 2 groups of people when it comes to this book: people who loved it and people who hated it. And I kind of go in the middle. The Catcher in the Rye follows Holden Caulfield, a 16-year-old boy who has recently been kicked out of boarding school. The book follows Holden over the course of a weekend in New York where many things happen to him. I'm not going to say that is what this story is about because I think you can go so much deeper than that. At the root of it, I think it's about adolescence and growing up and how hard that can be and how confusing that can be and also how horrible it can be. A lot of people say that Holden is a whiny little bitch, but newsflash people, teenagers are whiny. Human beings are whiny. That's how we're made. That's how we are. Real life. Real life. I ended up giving The Catcher in the Rye 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I really did enjoy it. It was different from what I was expecting and I really liked that. I also thought it was so interesting to read that book after I have read so many works that are clearly influenced from this story. For instance, Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis, which is not one of my favorite books, but I do really enjoy Bret Easton Ellis and I can definitely see how he found inspiration from Salinger. The next book that I picked up during September was a book that I had intended to read, but not one that I included on my TBR because it didn't really go with the theme. This book was Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I buddy read this with Adriana over at Perpetual Pages. We've buddy read the entire series together, so we were like, let's do this the way we started, together. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about Ruin and Rising because I really can't say too much about it without spoiling the previous 2 books. I'm gonna be honest here and say it's definitely not one of my favorite trilogies. I felt like through every book, the first 150 pages was so slow, but by the middle and end, it always sped up and it always grabbed my attention and held on to it. But overall, this is probably not gonna be one of my favorite trilogies. I'm not throwing shade at it, I'm just saying. And overall, I really enjoyed the conclusion that Leigh Bardugo came up with. I thought it was a nice way to tie all of the characters together, and my ship survived, yo, so hey. And the final book that I picked up in September during Banned Books Week, and actually the book that I just finished a few minutes ago, is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. This is yet again another book that I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail about because I am planning to do a review on this book, but I will just say that I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was breathtakingly beautiful, darkly comedic, and overall, yes, very messed up, but I thought it was beautiful and I feel like I have a lot to say about it. I'm not going to say it here because I want to make this video quick, but I will just say I'm definitely planning a review of that book, so stay tuned for it. And also, I went back and forth between listening to the audiobook narrated by Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons.
Light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul, Lolita.
I am so confused with my feelings about Humbert because, well, he is in many ways despicable. He's voiced by Jeremy Irons. In the comments below, I would love for you guys to let me know which of these books you read and what you thought about them, particularly the more controversial ones that I talked about. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my October TBR, which will be coming very soon. I am so excited about it. I have been living for this moment, living for this month. It's all been building up to this. Alright, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna go now. Bye.